Welcome back, episode 105 of Revisited, and we return. We return to Bleach, we return to Mathwiz, we return. We are talking about Bleach and the Problem with Shonen Discourse by Mathwiz. Now, this is a person we do know about, but still don't think she's very good, so.
Yeah, from what I've seen. I don't think that. What could possibly be the discourse?
Maybe the people influence each other's opinions too much. Like the masses influence the opinion of a person just getting into something. So everyone says, "Hey, Bleach is trash." But then you give it a shot and you're like, Bleach isn't trash. No, but before you do give it a chance, you're like, yeah, Bleach trash.
I don't know why, but I looked up, just for the description, boys, I looked up the title of this video, and for some reason, the second video that comes up is Inakyu. So I'm just like, oh, let's go check in on our girl, see what's going on with her. Nothing much.
Yeah.
I don't... But everything's gonna have that.
Okay, but... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't see what the... necessarily outside of they might particularly like Bleach and like, hey, it might be one of those rash plays where he's like, stop hating on One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. So it might be one of those, but even still. But if we're just simply talking about people, don't do this. This better be talking about fight rash plays. Because it's Gon versus Ichigo isn't even close. Don't talk about characters. Okay, look, it might just be about fights. I'm gonna have to look into that more. Okay. I'm going off. I'm lost in the sauce. I was on the thing, and I was like, oh, I've said rash plays now, so let's go check in on our boy. I've seen some iffy Bleach criticisms during my time on YouTube, so here I'm here today to refute them and voice some of my perhaps obvious problems with the discourse with this corner of the anime community on YouTube.
There you go.
Yeah, I would like to hear the argument,
which we will,
and no, we won't. This is going to be the first time where we're just not going to, because apparently...
What's going on here? Oh, that's why I'm hitting my keyboard.
Like, okay, I guess it's maybe not. Yeah, let's hear it.
Without knowing what it's about, we can't even speak about what it could be about.
But I'm already with that. It's just like, what can't this be said for, simply? But we shall see.
Let's get into it.
Battle stories have gained an interesting reputation over the years. Much of the community got into anime through one of these jump titles, but as a result of that, some tend to view shonen as the normie demographic. It's easy to get into, but ultimately something you grow out of once you find your own niche or develop a more critical mindset.
I don't think anybody needs to grow. That's just like, that's no different from an argument of you should grow out of playing video games or even reading or watching manga or anime.
Yeah,
you don't need to grow out of shonen battle slop, because I still love a lot of shonen battle slop.
It's not something that's... You talking about like broadening your horizons and stuff.
Yeah.
What is there outside of shonen? You got romance, seinen, shoujo, like magical girl stuff, sports.
You got a little bit of, you got some web comics, but a lot of those are just derivatives of the genres you just talked about.
Yeah, it's just a genre. It's not like something that needs to be.
But yes,
whatever it is, it is. I'm gonna get yelled at, but I get yelled at for everything.
Yeah.
Bunch of mindless action, nothing but power scale.
Anybody that thinks it's just mindless action truly has not watched the shonen.
Yeah, it's anything can be boiled down to something very basic like that. But
here's the funniest thing about discourse, especially when it comes to things like anime or whatever. why would you engage with a person that is so detached from the material that the only thing they have to say about shonen battle manga is mindless action?
Yeah.
That's not a criticism.
Not even worth talking about because you could just go.
Or talking to.
But it's not though. There's a whole. They've gone. What was that?
Oh, my phone buzzes if I get a text. When I pick it up, it vibrates. So I can just check if I have a text by just doing this.
I got my old watch. I can just give you that. It's just sitting there.
I'll take it. Oh yeah, weren't you trying to sell that?
Yes, I was, but nobody was buying.
Yeah, because I don't give a shit about a watch. Well, now that's here, I mean, if it's free, I give more than I did.
Well, we can talk about payment later.
Well, I guess you just got a watch then.
Whatever we were talking about, we were right about.
This action, nothing but power scaling in death battles. Or at least, most of them are. When a series like Hunter x Hunter pops up, it's an exception to the norm.
What is different about Hunter x Hunter than Bleach?
Yeah. It's got the romance. Not the romance. It's got the comedy. It's got the action. It's got the in-between stuff.
It's got the power scaling. It's got the death battles.
It's got all the things that something like that
The
does.
framework of Hunter x Hunter is the same as the framework of any typical battle shonen. What you put into it is what makes them different from each other. And Hunter x Hunter is different from Bleach because of the things within it. But if you're just giving the action, power scaling argument, you're talking about Hunter x Hunter as well in that.
The argument really could be made better if it was just like light on story, heavy on action. Mm-hmm. But even then, you're talking about not Naruto, DBZ, and little else after that point.
People will bend over backwards to distinguish it from the rest of its ilk, throwing out a term like
deconstruction, yeah, boy,
to justify their appreciation of a shonen. Or with something like My Hero Academia currently taking the community by storm, you'll find a prominent YouTuber like Giguk describing it as not first and foremost a shonen battle series, but a character drama? Because it constantly uses fights to realize narrative beats and character arcs like most shonen do.
Giguk sucks.
That's why we don't do Gigax.
He sucks.
Because he's horrible. What is he talking about? And that's what she's talking about. The need to justify things. I can't just like it.
Is this gonna be a 2 out of 10 video for us? Where we agree with a lot of it?
Could be. But it might not be. It could.
But the Bleach part is gonna start hitting. I doubt that's what Giga intended to do, but the special quality of Hiro Aka he explored here is a common component of Jump action stories. He just framed it in a way that attempts to explain why Hiro Aka is more beloved by fans. That's basically all video analysts in the anime space. Mm-hmm. What you're explaining is something that most, if not most, shonen battle, whatever you're talking about,
thing, but you have to not mention them or downplay them to such a disgusting degree that you go, and this is the thing that's doing it.
Or you have to make what you're talking about feel different from it by saying things like, unlike typical shonen things, this does the blah blah blah. Like, again, I've said it. People say that Fairy Tail is super tropey. What is the difference between Fairy Tail and Demon Slayer when you say that Demon Slayer embraces the tropes? And that's what makes it good. What is frame one the difference?
How is Fairy Tail not embracing the trope, but they're just doing them? But Demon Slayer is embracing the trope and therefore is to be lauded because they're doing them.
Even self-proclaimed shonen trash like Giguk feel this need to distinguish the good shonen from the average, as if the average is actually below average. Sure, in the case of the big three, their anime adaptations aren't great, but that doesn't mean they don't still explore worthwhile ideas. From my point of view, the average shonen is inherently more interesting than the majority of anime, and I understand that not everyone will share that perspective. Shonen battle anime can be formulaic in its structure and aesthetic.
Everything gets formulaic.
I would like to know what she has.
She has on my anime list.
Yeah, but that's a very odd statement because like basic shonen is better than. Oh, you were there before me.
Mm-hmm. I guess completed. Did they change their whole layout? What are we doing?
Still the same on the mobile.
That's goofy. Maybe she did this purposely. Gurren Lagann, Bakemonogatari, K-On! Alright, Hunter x Hunter is the first, is a 10. Okay, what's the next shonen action thing that's the highest that she rated? Mob Psycho. Alright, I'm not even going to count
in
it.
reverse order so we can meet in the middle. Watamote 6. Hard disagree.
Terrible. Most of the stuff she has isn't even shonen battle stuff. In the highly rated stuff. Oh yeah, this is goofy. I don't understand this. Yu Yu Hakusho is the next one I see at an 8. Death Note it's not even a battle one. It's a lot of comedy, slice of life stuff.
But how could...
Like Steins Gate, Princess Tutu.
Steins Gate, that's slice of life comedy stuff. That's not that good.
What would you count it as? Adventure?
Thriller.
Okay, thriller.
Drama.
Even still, it's not...
some comedy in there.
It's not a battle shonen. I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, that's... Like, what would you rate a Naruto versus a Watamote? What makes a Naruto better than a Watamote? I don't understand that. That's a very odd...
Watamote is fantastic, y'all, by the way.
And while the same could be said for just about any tale that adheres to a certain demographic or genre, it all comes down to personal bias. If you don't like the formula, you don't have to watch it.
I feel like everyone should watch things they aren't inherently going to like, because you never know if you're actually going to dislike that thing. Like, I will one day watch a mech series, and I'm sure I will end up liking a mech series somewhere. I was never big in slice of life. I was the shonen battle stuff, pieces. And now, if you were to take a look at my manga, it's 80% slice of life stuff.
Yeah, I tried a mecha, but it didn't work out. I tried Darling in the Franxx.
But that's your typical, this is the hype thing of the moment.
Sure. But I really like Trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Studio Trigger. And I'm like, the next thing from Trigger, sure, let's go. And it was just like... It was very front loaded with stuff, and I went, "No, thank you. I'm lost on what's going on here because you're just bucketing terms and lore and all this crap." It was like a manga that I just read and dropped, where I was just like, "Nope, you've already lost me."
But that was your same problem with Clannad, where you're like, it's the studio, it's gonna be great.
No, that was absolutely
so
what
you
the issue
can't
was.
just depend with the studio. You gotta depend on a story that looks interesting.
But that was back in the day. That was stupid of me. All right, I'm dumb.
You just did it recently.
But here's the thing about that.
Okay,
I went from Kill la Kill, which I love, over to they had Skeleton Cop or something like that. It's very funny. So it was a bunch of little shorts. Then they went over to Space Pirate Lulico, which was very good. Mm-hmm. And then over to Darling in the Franxx. So I'm like, they're hitting 3 for 3. And then they didn't. And
technically they did, because people love Darling in the Franxx.
But there's also a lot of derision around Darling in the Franxx. I don't know about what, But there is. I've heard people going, yo, this trash. I'm like, good. I'm glad I didn't continue with this. I was right.
I certainly don't go out of my way to watch the new seasonal isekai everyone makes a fuss about. Not because I think isekai is objectively inferior.
Hey, I don't like isekai stuff. I am currently reading 4 isekai things just to be like, is there something here for me? No. No, there's not. But I'm trying.
It's good to broaden your horizons. Outside of mecha.
Even if it's just to solidify, this just isn't for me.
But because it doesn't appeal to my taste in media, I'm not here to guilt you into watching shonen. In fact, this video isn't even directed at people who don't watch shonen. Instead, I want to ask my shonen viewers how the heck some of the most popular titles in the community remain so underexplored. The power scalers have their bubble, and as much as I like to joke about them, it's honestly fine if you're into that so long as you're not being toxic about it. But where are the character dissections, the thematic explorations?
They're out there. They've always been everywhere.
When was this video made?
4 years ago.
4 years ago. 4 years ago, we had the Bleach, both the eye patch with Bleach and the response by DBZ Imran, I believe, was in that time frame.
I hate that they have done away with the oldest to newest. I hate it. Yeah. It's one of the worst things from YouTube. My goodness.
At least they're not twitching it up. Because Tug Collar over on Twitch, y'all.
Yeah, DBZ Imran started about 4 years ago. Mostly DBZ stuff, but it was 3 years ago that they did the Bleach Ruined Reputation stuff. I'm sure it was out there. I have no doubt about it. I'm not big anime head, but this was around the time of Digibro. And Digibro was doing stuff like this. So yeah, I don't believe that it simply was not out there.
I don't know if she means it wasn't out there or it wasn't out there for Bleach in specific.
I'll go back and let's hear all of that.
To joke about them, it's honestly fine if you're into that so long as you're not being toxic about it. But where are the character dissections, the thematic explorations? If someone like Alexander can explore just about every nook and cranny of Hunter x Hunter, surely the same can be done for something like Bleach.
Yeah, so like she was just, where's the Bleach stuff? Here's the thing, Bleach is not as deep.
Yeah. How about, not everything can be explored that deeply. No. Everybody, there will be people that will try.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Medi not the bad guy going, this character's name means this.
40-minute video.
Colors mean this. And whatever. And you will always get people like that. But sometimes, it just ain't there for this.
It's pretty surface level stuff with just a smidge of below the surface. And once you explore that, there's not much more to talk about.
What is there with Bleach? I mean, yeah, you can squeeze the theme out of everything. Yeah. She was talking about, where's the thematic bush? Yeah, you can squeeze that out of everything.
The closest thematic thing I could think of for Bleach, not even thematic, but more like something that's worthwhile to be dissected, is the Ukiura stuff. Beyond that, I don't know how much of a discussion you could derive from Bleach.
There was what did that debate talk about with Aizen and his purpose or something? It was something with Aizen.
You are a better man than me.
God.
God. I have blocked that out. Do you know which part it was?
Nah, it's gone.
Because I could have just...
It's gone.
The transcript.
It's gone.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, this person, I'm looking at this person that's doing Bleach weekly reviews 7, 8, 9 years ago. I'm going to... Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's easier. You're essentially saying, why aren't people giving the same type of character analysis and thematic resonance to something like Dora the Explorer versus like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Inherently, the Turtles have a bit more meat to it.
Hey, where's the deep character analysis for Yamcha? Well, I'm sorry, but there's not too much there.
He's a failure.
I wouldn't have too much to say about, and that's the thing. Maybe people just don't have a whole lot to say about what's his name?
Uhara Kisuke.
Kisuke. Maybe they just don't have enough to say about him. Maybe people just lazy. I like a lot of stuff. I'm not talking about it. Mm-hmm. Be the change that you want to see in this world. Make a Bleach video.
I mean, she's kind of doing that now. Oh, that would have been a nice time to hit play.
It's like twice the length of Hunter x Hunter. There's so much material to dig into.
No, but even if it's twice the material, let's say that 95% of Bleach is fights and 95% of Hunter x Hunter is character stuff and thematic stuff. Even if Bleach is 5,000 chapters and Hunter x Hunter is 90 chapters, there may be more to dissect in Hunter x Hunter.
There is no fight as long as the fights in Bleach for Hunter x Hunter. Because stuff like the fake Katakura town, that is like 50 chapters.
And it's essentially just 50 chapters of straight fighting. You get character moments. You might get some exploration or a backstory every now and then. But it is, for the most part, 50 chapters of characters catching up, running, and fighting.
But then you got something like the Chimera Ant arc, which is like 150 chapters of just shaking you going, the nature of humans and humanity, and what does it mean to be human? And there's a lot to pull from that.
Yes.
So of course a lot more people are going to pull from that than a fake Katakura town where you can just go, oh, look, the pretty fights, and she, look at her Bankai. So that's why. There's a lot more theme, quote unquote, stuff to talk about in a Hunter x Hunter. And that's why people are a lot more willing to do so.
Why has barely anyone on AnyTube done it? Am I just supposed to agree with the consensus that it goes downhill after Soul Society? Discuss.
It does go downhill after Soul Society because Soul Society was its peak. Now, to go downhill doesn't necessarily mean it needs to go from a 10 to a 4 and then just keep dropping. It could have gone from a 10 to an 8. I think Hueco Mundo is a fine arc. It falters near the end, but beyond that, it's a fine arc.
There's no arc as good as Soul Society, so it does go down. We're not talking about... Now, we can talk about the terms of quality, like going from a 10 to an 8 to a 3 to a 1, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I would like to hear the argument that there is a better arc than a Soul Society, which, of course, has its problems with, like, the fish.
That's more of a world building issue.
It was introduced there.
Okay, but that's not a problem of Soul Society itself. That's a problem of the story.
It's a problem that it wasn't fully addressed there.
It was never addressed anywhere.
Pretended like they addressed it. Like when they were just went, yeah, we're here, and everybody got to take a line, take a number, and that guy's been here since World War II. But that's fine. You just go, oh wait, no,
that doesn't make.
You can't just say that. Yeah. That's not a thing. That doesn't make sense. Do you understand how many people are born and die per hour, Kumo?
Then you have to just think, what is the system for your reincarnation? Like, what governs that because you died earlier than that person? Or is it just we need a child of this descent origin to be reincarnated here? Who knows?
Who knows? Do they just govern?
And the lack of explanation is part of the reason that people don't explore these things. Because if there was some form of explanation into the reincarnation of Bleach, there would be videos about the reincarnation cycle explained, what makes sense about it, what doesn't, that type of thing. Like Jujutsu Kaisen's power system. How many videos are there of that?
Nin, how many videos about there? But here, it's a lot of assumptions, and when somebody like a DBZ Imran makes a big old video, it's just sort of pushed in there like Soul Society, the world, blah blah blah, moving on. It's like there's not too much to talk about. You can talk about the stuff that is explored, but you can't go any deeper because you can't just go the Central 46. They exist and they govern everything
until Aizen kills them.
Until Aizen kills them, and then there's one guy that does all the job of the 46, and then there's 46 more. So, moving on.
Questions of structure and storytelling mechanics have their place in media criticism, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to pretend that Bleach had a diverse arc structure or that Kubo didn't suffer from health issues late into serialization, but there's more to writing than just mechanics. Every story has themes and a core philosophy, but most of the Bleach criticisms I've seen don't really attempt to address these aspects of the story.
What is the core philosophy of Bleach?
Yeah. I don't think that themes and core philosophies make a story better or worse. Mm-hmm. It can have the best themes and core philosophy and still do some dumb stuff.
Even if they all have a theme and a core philosophy, the core philosophy of Bleach is blank. How much conversation can you get out of that if the core isn't that good to begin with? Let's say the theme of Bleach is like friendship. What can I say about the theme of friendship? Oh, this ties into it? Okay.
Where do you go from? Because you got a character like Yamamoto. Mm. Where does he fit into like the overarching theme or philosophy of Bleach? So when you talk about Bleach or Yamamoto, you just gotta shelve the theme and philosophy stuff in order to talk about this character. So either you have to shoehorn the theme and philosophy that fits into all the characters, or you just gotta ignore it and then have a little section and then talk about the characters or the plot of the battles or whatever you want to.
The general Bleach goes downhill after Soul Society sentiment seems to me like people are trying to put a square peg in a round hole. Something like the Fullbring arc is ridiculed for abandoning what made the series popular. Yet, not many people stop to think about what the arc was trying to say. They see that...
The thing that made the series popular was, I'm assuming, would be the battles, the cool characters.
But they got all of that in Fullbring, so that can't be it.
I think that the characters of the Fullbringers are not very good. They're not memorable.
Yeah.
I don't know anything that the old time man said. I don't remember his ability. I remember the blind kid has a Game Boy or something.
He's always playing a video game.
I don't know what his power was. Doll Girl, I remember something about a dollhouse.
Yeah.
Dirty boots.
The dirty boots, of course.
Yeah, of course. Because their boots get dirtier. And then Tsukishima.
Okay, even if you dissect what the arc was trying to say, even if it accomplished what it was trying to say, was it a good arc?
Yeah.
It's just the completingness of whatever you're trying to say. Does that make your story or arc or moment good?
They succeeded in talking about the duality of man, but it was boring.
The characters were written poorly.
Can we talk about plot holes and things that don't necessarily make sense in addition to what it accomplished? And then can we weigh and balance that to be like, okay, it's poop.
It's not like Soul
can.
They see that it's not like Soul Society and complain that it's not like Soul Society.
Do you have any references to these people? Where
Yes.
you got people? You said that, hey, where are the people praising Bleach and stuff? But you surely must realize that people are, or in order to be like, where are the people that's praising Bleach? It must be like there are people who are slamming Bleach.
Mm-hmm. And we need to see some of them.
So I would like to see some of those people.
And it's funny you're saying that people are trashing Fullbring for not being like Soul Society when they trashed Waco Mundo for being too much like Soul Society. Mm-hmm. I don't understand how both of those sentiments can work.
Yeah, I don't think that I've ever... I'm not into the big discourse and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've heard the criticism of it's not like Soul Society for Fullbringer. I'm like, hey, I like Rukia, and she ain't here. So the number of characters that I like drastic go down. I don't like Chad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What is there to like about him?
He's stinking up the joint. So when he's just, his big old dumb Mexican face is just front and center. I ain't got nothing to like here.
Boy, that sounds racist.
Oh no. Cut it. No. Just giving them bastards ammo.
Dude, the best of ALX is basically just DA445.
Don't let them make a best of. That's all it would be.
Which is a fine assessment of personal expectations and enjoyment, but that's about it. Conversely, people also condemn the Arankar saga for directly copying the Soul Society formula. But once again, they do this without understanding the nuances that make each arc different.
Pause.
Why would you engage with someone that just goes, it's the same as... Yeah. It's not worth engaging with those people.
What do they say further than is like this? Do they just simply say it's like this and then mic drop? Because that's not saying anything. You could easily just be like, okay, here are 6 similarities and here's 100 differences. Now what? But I would like to hear or see or something other than just there are people who say this. That's not really
as One Piece fans whose series is very cyclical in nature. I don't give a how cyclical you are. Just be good.
That's what it's all about. And around the car, like I said, fake Katakura Town, I have a problem with it because it's just people rocking up going, oh yeah, here's my Bankai. And then here's somebody going, okay, here's my Resurrection, which is a counter to your Bankai. And then somebody falls.
And then we do that for 70 more chapters.
Man. And then here comes the Vizars. And they're like, oh, here's our in masks. Get out of here. I can't. And they just kept going. And it was never ending. I was murdered during that. And I'll go back every now and again and just look at Gav and just losing his mind trying to read that. It's the best because it's just never-ending fights. That is a criticism when you like, okay, if you're not here for these fights, okay,
you're gonna have a
a rough time because once they go into this town, it is fight, and then you go over to Ichigo and it's fight. He goes from Grimmjow to Ukiura almost instantaneously. So that is absolutely a criticism where I'm like, yes, there is a lot of fighting, and if you're not here for it, hey, throw your hands up.
Yeah.
But just to blanket, hey, it's similar. Let's talk about that.
Is it a problem that it's similar?
Yeah.
Does every arc need to be 85% unique from the previous arc?
There will always be story beats that are similar. We need to talk about them instead of just blanket statement. Oh, they're similar. And if you're just complaining about people talking about them as they just go, it's similar. It's not worth talking about because they're not engaging with the media. So why engage with them?
In the Soul Society and her relationship with Byakuya is totally different from Orihime's place in Hueco Mundo and her relationship with Okiura.
Yes, it is. Okay, move on. Again, do not engage with people that are just like, it's just like Soul Society, because that's a stupid sentiment that is not worth your time.
There's not much to say after. There's nowhere more that they can go. So maybe do talk to them and just go, okay, it is. Now what? Does that make it, like you said, does that make it bad? Does that make it worse?
Why would I engage with someone that goes, One Piece is bad because they just go to island, fight bad guy, leave island? Why would I try to talk to you?
When it's clearly different.
So while their respective abductions both serve the same narrative purpose of driving the story forward, each character serves a different thematic purpose. Ruki...
Yeah, they do.
And now you're about to explain the different thematic purposes of Rukia and Orihime's captions?
Yeah.
I don't want to be here for this.
Yeah, I don't know.
This was a fine video beforehand.
Again, I used to watch Mathwiz and Craft Dwarfs. They did a series where they just went through shonen series like arc by arc.
Mm-hmm.
And a good 3-4 hours, I'd pop in an earbud at work, just go on through it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, they did not like Naruto. But then there was a switch flip that it was just like, you know what? Themes, though. And then
no way.
The rest of it just became theme stuff. And I was just like, all right, whatever. This is a one-off. And then they went to Fairy Tail. And they went, you know what? This ain't too bad. Cause he's got these themes though. I just went, all right, man. I guess I'm listening to something else. We're done here. So yes, they became big theme monsters, and it was very interesting to see that slow burn of just like, yeah, I don't necessarily think that Sasuke would do this as a character, switching over to now the theme of
thematically what happened here.
No time for this. And this was before we started Revisited. Where I'm just like,
how earlier?
I was still at Burger King.
Oh, dude, that has to be like at least 4 or 5 years before Revisited.
Yeah, well, I just looked at when they did the Naruto.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, no, it was heartbreaking because I'm like, man, I was looking forward to these. What are you doing?
It'd be like if we had viewer request month and it was like smash records of vote, and they were just like, and we just weren't Revisited anymore just for that month.
Yeah, it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep, it was 2017. So yeah, I remember opening
like almost 6, depending on when it came out.
September.
Yeah, almost 6.
Yeah, I remember just opening up Burger King and just popping in an earbud and just like, all right, an episode or 2 of these and it's my whole day. And then I'm just like, these are unlistenable. Because they're just talking about themes. And I'm like, themes? What is... Got no time for this. Talk about the characters and the dumb shit they're doing. And, I'm going to reverse summon myself into a snake's mouth. Suck balls theme.
Yeah, but what did it mean? How about what happened?
Yes! And now here we are.
We never left.
His execution exposes the flaws of blindly committing to a system under the assumption that it's always just. Not only was Byakuya willing to accept his sister's death under false pretenses, but everyone else was easily manipulated by Aizen because they didn't question their organization. Compare that to Hueco Mundo.
I don't think, and that's a problem with Soul Society, I don't think that we've got enough of that within that arc to just be like, yep, the rules are the rules.
Yeah. Bleach, we've said this before, Bleach's world is very underexplored. Even the rules within some of their locations is very underexplored. So when we get these moments, it's just like, okay, it's cool, but like, I don't understand it enough to care about it or believe it or disbelieve it.
You got like one person going, oh, that's a bit weird that they're using the thingy thing to kill her, but whatever. Rules are rules. It's like,
is it weird? Why is it weird?
Yeah. Why aren't you questioning this? What happens if you were to question it? Has somebody questioned it before?
Is there a retrial, a parole type of thing?
Why do these people have such blind faith in the system? Has it served them well before?
Has there never been like a corrupt leader in their however many years they've been on the seats?
Was it really, really bad before the system came and now it's got order and stuff and it's just like, well, we got to keep this order? These are the things that we have to ask before just going, yeah, they just believe it and they just do it. Now, somebody like Byakuya, I think he's characterized enough to be like rules are rules, as he's just coming up to the human world, just like, we going. We just going.
But Flower Captain?
Yeah. We don't know enough about him in this instance to just be like, he would believe it. Ukitake, he would believe it. And it's just, it's the amalgamation of the captains. And it's just like, they believe it. They're the organization, and the organization believes it. Not the character individually believe it. Like we get later, where we get, Soifon. Soifon starts to question stuff later in the 1,000-Year Blood War. And
but we're end of series at that point.
But that's like, this is a character taking an action as opposed to an organization just going
in motion.
Throw her in the thing, because the rules are the rules. The top said throw her in the thing, so we're gonna throw her in the thing.
Where Orihime's kindness made her a monster among savages. Her goodwill terrified the Arrancar, who had only known the might makes right mentality of their wasteland of a world. And her dynamic with Ulquiorra contrasted that of Ichigo and Grimmjow, who came to understand each other through battle like animals. Long-running stories like this typically have one or more thematic beats that permeate the entire narrative, but individual arcs can also be judged for the unique ideas that they present. In the case of Fullbring, the absence and return of the Soul Reapers was crucial to the trust elements of the arc. Their separation only
The theme was of trust?
And that's the problem with themes. The absence and then them coming back. It's like, okay, now we can start looking at this through the themes. But what about the whole 20 episodes before?
We can look back on it with the themes.
So how did you feel in the moment? What are you looking for in the moment before the theme comes to fruition?
What's the theme here?
That's the problem with this theme push. You're looking for themes. And of course you're going to find it when stuff comes together. Now oh my goodness. Okay, how did you feel episode 8 of The Fullbring? As you're watching Dirty
theme
Boots.
Here. Loss is the theme of loss? That actually ties into it. The lost memories, Ichigo losing his powers, all the things the Fullbring lost to get their powers. Yeah, lost.
Okay, but at the end of the day, you always have to wait until how the theme closes out.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just waiting until like, oh, well, I guess I'm gonna.
Did the theme?
It's never in the moment. You can't judge in the moment. Just like her boots are stupid. I can say that in the moment. Ain't nothing gonna happen 20 episodes later that's gonna be like, oh no, but wait a minute. She done awakened.
The books are cooking. You can't say that, because seeing your pink was that.
I don't think he was.
You don't think?
Oh, no, he was stupid, but he was One Piece stupid. It's just like, this is this dumb guy.
Yeah,
but this is like, this is a horrible ability. This is literally stupid. And we're going back to the episode, we're just like, why didn't she just keep a bottle of like syrup on her and just pour it on her boots and just get beefed up? And it's like, what constitutes dirty for dirty boots?
On top of that, like, if there's dirt on her boots, is that also the boot? Or is it the first layer of dirt?
If there's dirt and then you step in dog crap, is it the dog crap on the dirt, or is it compounded?
Or is it only the parts that touch the boots? So if you have a stain that just is stuck in the boot, is it just the fabric of the boots that's not stained that constitutes dirtying of the boots?
It would have to be a compounding, otherwise there's a clear upper limit to her abilities. In which case, it is when the boots are sufficiently dirty.
And do the inside of the boots count?
Why does she need to be wearing them? Would they work on her hands? Or is it simply on the feet? Like, can she like drape them over her neck?
And get a full body power
up? What would be the purpose?
Yeah.
Because then you would just be bootless. You're substituting boots for just like more boots, I guess. I don't want to wear these boots. I want to wear these boots. I'm going to put these boots around my neck.
He could have just called it dirty work, and it could have been a whole outfit. And then, you know, it gets dirty. Okay, and now I'm stronger because I got dirty on my arm.
So we can talk about this in the moment, but we can't talk about themes in the moment because we don't know what the themes are or how they tie together or anything. That's the problem with themes. That's why I hate themes.
Emphasize the influence Ichigo and the Soul Society had on one another. So to reshape this stretch of chapters around the Soul Reapers because of their popularity would be missing the entire point. It's fine to not like Fullbring for not presenting the things that initially got you into Bleach, but that doesn't make it a universal sign that the series went downhill. Personally, I enjoyed Fullbring because it broke away from Bleach's.
It's less of the things that I like. I think that's justified to say is going downhill because it's
at least with your enjoyment of the thing, at the very least. Even if the quality upticks and you don't enjoy it as much, that still can be seen as a downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Typical formula.
And if a thing is a thing and then it goes into less of a thing, I think it's justified to say that that's worse. Like a romance show, if it's just stops being a romance, it starts being a cooking for an arc. It's like, huh?
That's very much Mashal. Mashal started out with just a comedy. I can't believe he doesn't have magic, but he's actually really strong. And then it's just like, okay, but what if we were just a battle shonen? And it's just, it got worse, and I stopped reading it.
It just got worse.
It just got worse.
It's just bad now, all right?
So
it's fine.
I'm good on it.
So I wonder, does she believe that this is better because of the things that it's presenting and the breaking away from quote unquote?
Is she also making a subversion argument where it's doing things outside of the norm of Bleach and that's why it's good? Because she said that's what she particularly liked about it.
I mean, Muff ain't show dirty boots yet.
Who could?
This arc is more than just the themes and stuff. It's dirty boots and
I could not describe you dirty boots hair.
How dare you?
I could not describe
it's like
her.
Sort of like a bob cut shoulder length.
Okay.
Sort of
Hermes
not straight
light
cut, but no, not at all.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of straight cut with like maybe some points at the bottom. I'm seeing some pointing, not like a straight. I'm thinking that it's
that
more
sounds
pointy.
like a question mark.
It's dark. I don't know if it's brown or black.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me her name.
Jackie, I think.
Jackie Tristan,
something like that.
I don't think it was Tristan.
I'm seeing a T though.
Fairy boost, please. Jackie Tristan, yeah. Yeah, short length, shoulder length, bob cut.
She's in Chad.
Look, the faces, we can talk about the faces. Everybody got their faces, all right? Muff and Hiro Mashima, arrest that man. We talking about faces.
I was looking at a post about One Piece going on break for a month. And somebody was just like, some people just don't got the stamina. And they had Hiro Mashima showing Natsu. And somebody replied, well, you could just Control-C, Control-V your manga. It's pretty easy to keep up a pace. And I die laughing.
That muff is,
he should be locked up for plagiarism of himself.
Somebody should be like, hey, yo, there's gotta be cosplay.
There's gotta be one person that sits him down and just has a conversation with him. Like, how is Happy here?
He talked about that. He goes, I like to think of my manga characters as little actors in a play. So I could just pick this one and just move them over here.
Unbelievable.
So now Jalal is just in Eden Zero because he's the actor.
He's got a different wig on.
He's a hack. This is a farce.
You want to talk about a man that's got one story to tell?
Man,
it is Hiro Mashima.
That muff just went, here's some new character designs. I was like, are they? Muff, and he's coming out with a whole new manga. It's like dark. It's like I forget what it's called, but it's about elves or something. Dead Rock. That's what it's called. It's a short-term serialization. The dark fantasy manga story centers around Dead Rock, a demon king training institution towering in the depths of the demon world. To knock down the door of Dead Rock, a young demon named Yakuto takes on the challenge of a harsh entrance examination. Mm-hmm. He looks...
Do we have any character design?
Different.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. The face is the same.
Show me
the hair...
Again. Show me him again. Now look at him, and now look at Natsu and Gray put together.
The hair is not Natsu's. All the mother months is Natsu's hair.
Is that not Natsu and Gray put together?
Is it the hair? Is
that all we need?
We're gonna go down the face. Okay, so that's different from Natsu already. The face is Natsu. He's got a little head ornament that's sharp. And that's it.
He must be stopped.
He's take it away from him. He's gotta be working
Put the pen down.
He's gotta be like, look, I will take half of what everybody else is taking, and I will do twice the work. And they're like, sure.
I don't know if it's cheap or it's a proven commodity that will turn in the work for the time. Too. Because I don't know if they need a smash hit 400K, 1.2 million per volume type of hit. Or they could just go, this month's selling 120K and it's every week. All right, we good here.
He's consistent. He's not taking breaks. He's giving us chapters 8 in advance. He's talking to me and drawing.
What more could you want? He just finished the chapter.
Oh, here comes the stencil. Yep. That's another Natsu. Good job, Hiro Mashima. Good job. Great. Thank you. Somo and Indian Natsu. Great. Oh, this is sale.
Different skin tone this time. That's bold.
Hey, that is.
Lucy? Cool.
I know that's Gray's hair, but it's not his face. So that's not Sue's face. So it's a different character. I see what you're doing. You're cooking now. All right.
Gratsu? You say?
100,000 volumes? Yeah. 100,000 sold. Get in there. Consistency is what you want.
Yeah. He doesn't give them enough time to decide that this isn't worth what they're putting into it.
Got it. It's here. Hey. It's like, here's my manga. It's like, don't you mean a manuscript? No. It is, here's the first 68 pages. I've got 3 more. It's just ready to be published right now, if you so choose. And I'm like, well, I guess we've got pages available.
I guess we do a new Mashima venture.
Yeah. And he's just writing with his left and drawing with his right. And he's just at the same time. And he don't care because neither of them are of any quality. So it's just...
He's creating a Masha bot as we speak. Just to write me a script about
a
space.
Young boy and girl and mascot.
Cat mascot.
Cat mascot. I need a location. We've done on Earth. We've done space. Under the sea.
Who's seeking the Great Pearl
for their parental figure to be reborn. Very, very good, very good.
They overcome challenges through friendship. Enter.
Already spitting out a design. This is criminal.
Personally, I enjoyed Fullbring because it broke away from Bleach's typical formula, but that has little to do with what the...
There's a broader point to be made here about how repetition is an inherent flaw, but that could be probably its own video translation. I didn't think of it while scripting this, which is fine.
Yeah, I don't know what the typical Bleach formula is, because Substitute Soul Reaper arc isn't the same as
Soul Society.
And Soul Society and Arrancar, they have similarities, but then you go into Fate Katakura Town, which is something completely different. So
thematically. When I said in my last video that Soul Society is overrated, I didn't mean that it's a bad arc. It's actually my second favorite arc in the series, right?
Okay, so when people say that Bleach went downhill, it doesn't mean that Bleach is bad.
yeah, surely you must recognize this.
Behind the Arrancar saga.
Though Bleach is bad.
What I meant was that people devalue the rest of the story as if Soul Society set this insane benchmark of quality that was never met again, when
it did, and it wasn't.
Yeah, I would like to hear what met that level of quality.
They already said Fullbring. Oh, no.
Oh,
They
surpassed it.
No. They said Soul Society was their second favorite arc. But I'm starting to wonder if Arrancar was it.
in reality, it introduced many of the problems, I at least, would have with Bleach going forward. Too many fights between too many characters with too little breathing room.
But that was the Arrancar arc.
We gotta know what she means when she says the second favorite arc then, because unless it's Fullbring.
No, I think they did say Arrancar.
I said Arrancar.
Run it back. I'm sure
the
they
absence
did.
and return of the Soul Reapers was It's fine to not like Fullbring for not presenting the thing, but I enjoyed Fullbring because it broke away from Bleach's typical formula. But that has little to do with what the series accomplished thematically. When I said in my last video that Soul Society is overrated, I didn't mean that it's a bad arc. It's actually my second favorite arc in the series, right behind the Arrancar saga.
Well, there you go. Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy noise. That is legitimately Arrancar.
But you said that this introduced the problems that you have with Bleach long running, which includes too many fights, not enough time in between them. But that's Arrancar arc in space. So what elevated that over the Soul Society for you?
Characters with too little breathing room. Of course, those fights serve to explore each character and the ideas their journeys embodied. But that's equally true for Soul Society as it is for, say, the Thousand Year Blood War. The narrative structure didn't change, but
it's not simply the fights. Mm-mm. It's the quality of the fights as well. It's not simply they're exploring the characters through the fights. If you explore the character through the fight, and a muff is just like an Ichigo level, and then a Soul Society Kenpachi level, and then that Kenpachi level dude beats that Ichigo, you go, well, what the is going on? But it explored the characters. It's like, no. Yes, it did. Whatever. But it can still be bad even if it does those things. It's not simply... Analyzing things isn't simply just looking at it as what it's doing. It's also how the quality of the fight. Does it make sense? Where does it go from here?
The character stuff. It's a lot going into it. Not simply just, they're both doing fights and
the theme of it.
And the theme of it. And it's exploring characters. There's a lot more to it than that.
It only became a problem for me when I didn't care for the fighters involved. And if we're talking about Bleach, that happened a lot. Even back in Soul Society. At this point, I've just accepted that Bleach's style isn't for me. But I still acknowledge that there were cool elements at play. Kenpachi's character arc in particular thrives in this format, as his entire persona is defined by the battles he participates in. Where Naruto...
Kenpachi. Oh, I could actually just fight with my
like him
other
less
hand.
and less as I think about him more and more. I liked him in the beginning, and then it just becomes, okay, so you can beat imagination. Fantastic. But I guess Aizen... You just decided not to be strong enough to beat Aizen. Okay, then. Oh, he wasn't there. Because he chose not to be there. Because he chose to limit himself to such a baby level. Oh, but he's not even actually the first Kenpachi. He's just another one. And that other Kenpachi is just right over there. Who's never picked up a sword. Why? Well, because, oh look, here's clues that she is the Kenpachi because she's got a scary look and people are scared of her. So that's the issues.
Hey, you want that analysis bullshit? That's what you want to. That's what you got to look forward to.
Yes, you gotta look forward to why didn't she pick up her sword if she's that strong, where she's handling Kenpachi, killing him over and over and over again, and we've seen his level of strength. And this is even more unleashed Kenpachi. Where was she? Why wasn't she doing anything at that point?
Through a mix of fights and training arcs, or a One Piece character like Nico Robin changes less through fights and more through her general interactions with the Straw Hats, Kenpachi grows almost exclusively through combat. He's perfect for the action genre he's a part of, handicapping himself so weaker opponents can stand a chance against him, refusing to kill people so they can get stronger and fight him again one day. He just wants an entertaining fight, but because he often limits himself, his true potential is never realized. And that becomes a subject of conflict in the Thousand Year Blood War, as is the case for many characters in Bleach.
And again, it's like, do you find it believable that he limits himself to that level?
Why should I care for any Kenpachi fight if I know he's limiting himself to a degree much? That if he were not doing so, he could easily defeat this person? The only thing I can care about at that point is his character itself, and if he's getting an entertaining fight out of it or not.
And then you've got people who can sense the spiritual pressure of others. If Kenpachi he got into that position by killing a captain, so he had to unleash more energy than he did with Ichigo. But they're just like, okay, I'm sensing Kenpachi, and why is he at like a level 2? What the is he doing? Oh, he's just trying to enjoy himself. Do you really enjoy yourself by not really trying?
It'd be like if you played a fighting game against your like 6-year-old cousin. And you're like, well, I'm only going to play with one hand, so this could be enjoyable for me.
I'm going to play basketball with my shoelaces tied. Yeah, I can beat you if I really tried, but I'm not going to really try to make this fun.
I don't see how that's fun for you.
Yeah, the only way that I could think about that would be if somebody like Peanut doesn't play Smash, but if he was like, let's play me in Smash, but I'm going to take your controller, I'm going to mix up all the controls. And I would find that fun to just try to figure out what controls and then try to maneuver around that. That would be fun. But if it was just like, I'm going to play you, but I'm not going to use any of my combos. I'm not going to use
any of my mains.
I'm not going to, if I fall off the stage, I'm not going to recover. So all you got to do is just push me off the stage. That wouldn't be fun for me. And that's the issue that I have. Why do I keep reaching for my water when I know it's over here? Why don't I just put it over here, but I know next time I'm going to reach for it over here? Because I'm stupid.
It's just the mechanics.
It's just the feeling of. But the limiting is the biggest issue because a lot of things.
I never had my water.
It never existed. It was way over here. I thought this is making me. I could have sworn I could have sworn. I was like, all right, I guess it's my turn to talk because he's drinking. But I guess I just imagined that.
Same, because I could have swore I drank some too. Whatever.
I guess this is one of them Berenstain universes.
Is scattered across hundreds of chapters, and the details are somewhat disjointed. So while you might not pick up on things during an initial reading, a second look with a greater focus on the specifics will probably yield better results. I didn't pick up on the vengeance theme until after I'd finished Bleach. So when I was making my last video, I singled out all the chapters showcasing the characters I wanted to discuss and reread them until things clicked. Hell, I read the entire Naruto manga after having watched most of the anime, and I still didn't pick up on the hypocrisy theme until months later. You can even see...
Dude, I cannot believe this.
Yeah.
It is my fondest wish for just one day, a month from now, people just have to go 2 years of making videos without talking about themes once. Cause this is all they have at this point.
I just sitting around just going, oh, Deidara was a hypocrite. Wait a second.
So
who else was a hypocrite?
But it's so easy to do this now,
Yes.
because once you have the theme of hypocrisy, now your video could just be explaining and showcasing this is how it
person
ties
is a
into it.
hypocrite, and this person and this,
And that's an 11-minute video.
And again, who before this is talking about the theme of hypocrisy? So anybody can dredge up any theme at any point in time. Does that make it more or less valid? Or is this just story events happening that you're finding connections between and then going, hey, theme? Does she think that Naruto is better due to the theme of hypocrisy?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because,
hey, Kurapika versus Sasuke, a thematic breakdown.
I wish one day to just stop being mad at this. To just let it wash over you.
Do you care? Do you want that though? Because at that point, it just feels like you're not gonna have passion for it anymore.
Yeah, at that point, it's
It's just like Revisited's gotta end if we see thematic and it's just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a thematic breakdown
and just feel nothing.
and feel nothing in my heart.
That's like at the point where you just go, yeah, I've seen enough beheadings that this is just nothing. It's like, oh no, I've gone too far. Oh no, I gotta pull back. I need to go to church once.
The only thing you can do is stop or go further. There's no other option.
Oh no, man, I've been watching porn with 2 midgets. This ain't doing it for me. I guess we're up to 3 now.
It's like I've watched enough incest stepbrother and stepsister.
I need
a
the
real
actual
family
stuff.
I need the real stuff.
I need
now.
to show they need to show me the ID for me to get hard.
They gotta be twins.
Like you gotta take a step back at that point.
At that point, you gotta stop.
Go like you said, or go further.
There's only 2 options.
You pull because you're not gonna stay at the same place that you are. You're gonna nudge forward
Or nudge backward.
or nudge back. It's got to be either one. Because
Even
you're
if
not gonna
you-
stay exactly where you are.
Even if you're static, the line moves.
Mm-hmm.
So with the porn, it's just like, this isn't getting me off like it used to, even though it's the same stuff that used to. The line has
It's the tolerance.
moved.
It is, hey, a shot gets me drunk, and now it doesn't. So now it's 2 shots. Now it's 3 shots. You don't want to be that 9-shot motherfucker. We don't feel anything. Like he was drinking air.
The only option is it was water or watered down to such a degree. Because he wasn't even taking a shot. He was taking double shots of this.
Like it was. I was like, Phil, you have an issue. This is not normal.
Oh, I'm already buzzing. I do not believe you.
Especially considering, like 2 years ago, you drunk 2 beers and just like, oh, I'm getting buzzed. And you're like, in 5 shots, I'm getting buzzed. My sack, come on now. So you were lying then or you lying now, or you had such a big influx of alcohol that,
Which is a possibility.
we went from porn to field to.
No, we didn't even start at porn. We started way somewhere else.
But yeah, it's gonna be. It is like it's.
Oh
always
yeah,
like
we
the
started
first
with
time.
the end of Revisited.
In thematic breakdowns and still feeling something.
My misinformed older opinions in my very first Naruto video, which is bad. It's very bad. Don't watch it.
Pause. The entirety of Naruto in 4 minutes. I could never.
Goku T23 could never.
Could never. Last of Us 21 would never.
I don't know why those always make me laugh when I see them in chat when I watch the videos again. Just a blank with never.
But yes, I do acknowledge that I have been part of the problem. I am trying to not be part of the problem by not making misinformed videos like that anymore.
Surely you realize that you're part of another problem
Yes.
of people who are looking far too deeply into things that need to make connections, like hypocrisy.
The theme of hypocrisy.
Surely this is a whole new problem, you realize, where you're just like, you need to make connections in order for this to be better or good.
Anybody creating content on the internet faces some form of problem. Whether they're informing people, whether they're influencing people, you are facing problems in your narrative.
People in our Discord are just like, I wish I never met y'all, because in
Y'all done ruined
iconic
it.
and crap like that. It's like,
The buzzwords. Gavin said he never really thought about things until he saw that, how many times I think Oceana said
Fate
and resolve. It's just like, I never really thought about these things. But when it's in your face like that, yeah, then our Discord hates us, dude.
So-
I honestly believe half of our fans don't like us.
I can understand that. But it just comes with the territory of you're putting something out.
Yes.
And people are going to listen, and people are going to believe that, and people are going to be influenced one way or the other by that. That is what it is. You can't stop that. You can't help it.
You can only hope that your positives far outweigh whatever negatives you commit on these people.
Long stories that many people were probably reading or watching week to week, and I'd imagine that format makes it all the more difficult to form these narrative-spanning conclusions. The length alone
They
would probably make
absolutely do. Narrative spanning conclusions, they absolutely do, because week to week you're going, okay, how does
How does this tie into hypocrisy?
Yeah, Sakura versus Sasori. How does this tie into hypocrisy? And then you're just looking for that. It's gotta be near impossible until you get that little bit of something that happens. You go, oh, hypocrisy, right there. Instead of just enjoying it for what it is, and then maybe taking a look back and just like, okay, what's going on back here?
Read the chapter first for your enjoyment, and read it second for your analysis, and go, all right, what can I gain from
Literally what I'm doing with my video. Literally.
It's not hard, dude.
any shot
But it
of my
might be hard because we don't do it.
But I feel like we can do it.
Yeah. I just don't. It's a lot more fun to do something like this. Because it's a lot to talk about stuff in a way that I would like to talk about it. Because I could just go, this character is good, moving on. But you go back and just go, this character is good because of this, this, and this. And then, oh crap, this did happen. So I got to rewrite this part. And
I just feel like I'm way more comfortable off the cuff than written word and spoken word.
Resident Evil. Rampant evil.
Yeah, that video never came out and never shall.
Literally nobody could know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He had a Resident Evil.
It is only you that will ever know this, dude.
He had a Resident Evil video that he was doing. Had it written out. Was trying to record it, but was bumbling and fumbling.
Terrible.
And I just heard him off and just going, Resident Evil,
just constantly.
rampant. Just over and over, just in easy stuff up.
Yeah.
And I was dying.
My own words that I wrote. It wasn't even like it was a... It wasn't even like it was a script I was given. My own words. I knew what I wanted to say.
And that is where that comes from. To this day I always remember Resident
I was getting so mad at myself.
Over and over. I'm like, is he wrote it? And like, is he just like all the way over here? His phone is in little tiny font. He's just like, I can't read it, but I can't bring it closer.
And I've said it so many times. Like, when I'm doing Revisited, when I'm doing a live stream, video games, whatever, I don't feel any type of nervousness or whatever. But for some reason, the thing that nobody will hear until I feel like you should hear it.
Until it's that you can perfect in any way that you can.
Before I even hit record, my heart will start going. I'm just going, why? I don't understand it. It's disgusting, dude.
From the prospect of a reread, and the added divisiveness surrounding these titles only decreases the incentive. It's like a battlefield out here, pick your side. The big three can't all be good, something has to be better or worse. Naruto...
No,
I mean, something
absolutely
is going to be better or worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's factually going, something is factually going to be worse. They can't all be flat equals. That is an absolute impossibility. So yes, something will be worse than the others. Now, it's all dependent on how you speak about those things. Because if somebody has read Bleach and goes, I don't like this because of these reasons, or versus somebody hearing about Bleach and going, I heard that Bleach gets bad after the second arc, so I ain't gonna read it. Mm-hmm. It's a big difference.
One Piece seems to lean positive, but Bleach, not so much. As I was putting this script together, I found a video discussing Bleach's place in the Big Three, and it honestly blows my mind.
To clarify, this video refutes the idea that Dragon Ball should be in the Big Three, so it's fine. It's just what reminded me of the topic.
That anyone would think Dragon Ball has a place in this generational term people came up with. Dragon Ball
Yeah, it's something that people came up with that people have different definitions for. Some people like it's the most influential manga of the time. So whatever period this is in the 2000s and the 2010s, whatever the biggest three anime there are, that's what it is. Some people are just like, these are the three anime that brought anime over to the West. So that's what some people think the big three are. So people are going to have different definitions, and people are going to put three different things in there because of those things.
Inspired the Big Three. It finished serialization 2 years before One Piece even started. 3 if we're talking about anime adaptations. That someone had to make a video explaining why Bleach is in the Big Three says a lot about this story's public perception. Damn it,
She should really define what she believes that the Big Three is for something like this. Because that would be very helpful to know what you believe, even if it's just like the wider understanding of the Big Three is this, and this is why.
Hey, maybe she has a bunch of videos explaining these types. Don't look up the Big Three.
But
I'm not supposed to care about Bleach, but you people are making me want to like it out of spite.
No, that's your fault. That's your problem. That means nothing to me. I am never going to like or dislike something because a lot of people like or dislike the thing.
If people started being wrong about the criticisms of Fairy Tail, I wouldn't be like, I want to like this to spite you guys. Like, no, you guys are just wrong about how to dislike this. Dislike it the right way.
Let me teach you the actual problems of this thing.
It's not just the friendship power up bush.
Yeah, we all know that one. Yeah, no, let's get into the real meat.
Let's get into the good stuff. Okay, yeah, that's tabled. We got it done over there.
Bullying Bleach. It doesn't deserve this. And while we're at it, stop stigmatizing Bleach defenders, or fans of any story for that matter. People have different tastes. You're allowed to dislike something that someone else likes and vice versa.
Pause.
Sure,
and we're allowed to talk about it.
Yes, and we should have discussions on things you like, dislike, think are good, think are bad. Why would you try to stifle the conversation? Now it's different. It's just, you like Bleach.
Ignore me and you move on.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to engage with those idiots anyway. Triggered.
That's fine.
But you don't
let's hear it.
Have to put other people down to boost your ego. There's a difference between critical comparison and bad faith debate. Like, what does this...
Then don't engage with them.
Comment accomplish.
If any of you honestly believe One Piece is anywhere near worth mentioning when comparing great shows like Bleach and Naruto, your opinion is not just valid, but also wrong. Yeah, it's rare, but opinions can be wrong. Well, it pains me to see how people love to discredit Bleach or Naruto, etc. I can accept that your taste can be definitely different than mine. However, I would not call that a wrong opinion, maybe just a little toxic, ignorant, and hard.
Hey, has this person seen One Piece?
Yes.
Hey, this person, Mathwiz, tell me any kind of descriptions about One Piece based upon this person's comment. Tell me anything that they know about One Piece. You can't. So this is just somebody saying something, and it's to be disregarded.
Yeah,
we don't.
Why would you engage?
Don't engage with
unless
these
you are trying to go. Hey, how much of One Piece have you seen? If you're just trying to get where they're coming from, and if they're just still with this type of stuff, disengage. It's over here. Yeah. We're donezo.
The fact that they would come into a comment and just write this, that speaks to their mentality. We get that less now.
Which is weird. No, you know what? That's weird because we're more popular now, quote unquote popular, than we were back then. So why are we getting less hate?
We don't have it as much, and I'm sad about it.
Are you?
Yes, it was fun. It was good to see people's perspective on our work.
Yes. I'll agree with that aspect of it.
Or what they perceive to be our work, because sometimes they just...
But no, because even that I can't agree with, because so many times they pause every 2 seconds. It's so long. Like that video, like that comment we just got out of Cosmo's JoJo's video. He talked about JoJo's and fans made a documentary about it. It's like, did you even engage with the material? If you were to see the rest of our videos, you would see it's not about JoJo's. We've done several videos of his. It's what we think is bad videos. So no, I can't agree. But I also kind of get it.
Says nothing good about Naruto or Bleach. It just takes a jab at One Piece.
Yes, and don't engage.
Yeah.
You are literally giving them what they want, and that's attention in that aspect. I don't care for what you have to say.
Yeah, this person is not willing to engage in good faith. So you can't force them to. You can't be like, hey, you're not engaging in good faith. And then they go, oh, I'm not. And then they change their word. No, they're going to copy and paste that comment on 50 other videos. And they're going to be like, job well done.
Outside of the big three, I've seen people do this with Hunter x Hunter, Hero Academia, Yu Yu Hakusho, you name it. At the start of the video, I mentioned people placing Hunter x Hunter on a pedestal, but I do that too. It's my favorite anime of all time, so yeah, I'm gonna say it's better than everything else. What I'm not gonna do is throw the rest of shonen under the bus to make Hunter x Hunter look good. I shouldn't have to do that. I like shonen tropes, I like the general shonen formula, so when something like Hunter x Hunter, if I see something like that as exceptional, because I do think it's an exceptional story, it's not exceptional because it does things counter to the shonen formula, it's just the shonen formula done...
Was she about to say right or well? I hope it's real. Maybe it has some subversive elements, but I don't see Hunter x Hunter as an overall subversion of the action. That is correct.
Counter to the shonen formula, it's just the shonen formula done really, really well, and that's why I like it. Even when I have done comparisons in the past, it wasn't from the perspective of A is worse than B for not being B, it was a discussion of why A and B were interesting for being A and B. And, I mean, I get where some of this is coming from. The shonen demographic tends to cater towards young audiences, and I know what it's like to be a 13-year-old pointlessly bickering about things over the internet. I was in the...
Does it?
In the West, I would say no, but it's meant to.
Yeah, it's meant to, but I don't think that it does necessarily.
I would say in Japan it does.
I think it was I think there was a poll of just like the readers of One Piece, and they're like the demographic of 18 to 20. I think there was a lot of like 50-year-olds.
Well, to be fair, One Piece is 20-something years old, so them moms just grew up. A lot of them just grew up with it.
You guys like, I'm already here.
Yeah.
I'm not going away.
If you started reading One Piece when you were 7, you're 20-something now. You're in your late 20s, early 30s. Can't remember if One Piece, 1999. Yeah, like 25. You'd be like 31, 32.
Okay, Shueisha. The guide did not list genders for demographics for Weekly Shonen Jump magazine, but it did list a breakdown of age. This was back in 2019. 27.4% of the readers are 25 years old or older. 25.8 are 19 to 24. 17.6 are 16 to 18. 16.4 are 13 to 15. 9.6 are 10 to 12. And 3.2 are 9 years or younger. So
collectively, the 17 and unders, I would look at.
So we're looking at 27.4 and 25.8 are above the age of 18. So about 53%. And the rest are younger. So it's about half and half. But again, this is what is catered to versus what they
It actually is.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure Twilight was catered to young girls, teen girls, but what the audience was.
But again, that's right what you know. And Stephanie Myers was just like, I got a hard on. I'm a sheltered Mormon girl, and I want some big, well, not big, some moderately sized individual to come sweep me away, and then some
man that is in a good enough shape.
It is just a vaguely ethnic person who I'm offending an entire people come and sweep me away, and it's just like they're fighting over me. That's what she wants. And then a bunch of old housewives who's just like my husband is like a boring accountant, just like, yeah, I want a werewolf. I want a Native American werewolf.
I would love the gardener to come sweep me just for a night of passion.
Yeah, you know, they got their romance. Mama used to do that.
Y'all do heavy into it.
I remember just down in the basement, just like a whole bunch of just romance novels. It's just like, so yeah, that's, I don't know.
Oh yeah, those covers of just like the Fabio-esque people, beach on the cliff. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they were all
with the
like
sunset
that.
coming.
Tastefully silhouetted and bushed like that.
the flowing white cloth that they both had for some reason.
So yeah, so I don't know if that was a YA thing or was it just like, it's gonna be YA, but it's also gonna, we know what we're doing here. So who knows? Something like Eden Zero. Would that be, I know it's not necessarily shonen, but would that be like in the 18 range because it's got the boobs and the awoogas?
No, because teenage boys love the boobs and awooga.
But then how much is too much before you cross that threshold into something else? And but so yeah, 53%.
Various Dragon Ball videos some 7 or 8 years ago, wasting my time arguing incoherently about dub quality and story events that should have happened. I've also been a brand new anime fan before. Free to watch.
If you're passionate enough about something, you're doing what you don't want them to do. You're arguing. They're dropping a comment and they're leaving. They're not going to respond. That person who's just going, One Piece ain't Bleach. They're not. What more do they have to say?
But if you want to talk about the dub or how crappy you thought it was, just story beats that you felt should have happened as a kid, rock it out.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? That's not wasting your time. It gives you a better understanding of how to criticize media and how to think about things in a different way.
Absolutely. The only thing that could be a detriment to that type of thing is her going, I was doing it incoherently.
Yeah.
So if you're just spouting a bunch of bullshit, it's stupid this didn't happen without explaining why it should have happened, that's different.
Watch everything for the first time while simultaneously lacking any experience to inform my perspective. If someone told me a series with over 360 episodes or 700 manga chapters wasn't worth the time, I'd probably believe them.
Nope, I'd only believe them if there was somebody I trusted that said that. Yeah. I wouldn't go to an anime convention and just hear somebody go, "Yo, blank sucks." And just go, well, they said it sucked, so I guess it sucked.
Because then once you get questioned on it, you got nothing because you don't have that experience. You got nothing to say. Hey, why does this suck? Oh, I heard that this, and that. No, it didn't. Now what?
Now what? Now you got two different perspectives. You're 50-50 on it sucking and it's being the best thing ever. So
Yeah, it's you need to have that perspective if you're going to talk about something. If you just want to trash something, it's fine to be like, I'm not watching that movie. It looks like it's bad, or
it.
Yeah, but just go 700 chapters. Yes, that sucks. Like that's not really helping anything.
Make fun of said series for how bad it was, I'd join in despite knowing nothing.
See, that's the problem right in there. Yeah, Bleach does suck. Okay, you don't know. That's the problem.
It's a bandwagon stuff. I would like to ask her, why did she do that?
That's a good question. Would you interview Mathwiz?
Sure.
Yeah, you used to be a fan, so.
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah.
Legitimately, I've got the proof.
Because of course it was bad. Why question that when everyone else had already confirmed it? Everyone else had already seen it. They'd done the work for me.
Pause. How old are they? Or how old were they when they made this?
I mean, if it's 4 years ago, we're just talking about 2019.
Because this seems like a very young mentality of go with it because everybody else says that it's bad.
Yeah, I could see her saying these type of things when she was like 15. I could see something like that.
Popular Bleach videos on the platform are all focusing on its downfall. That would only fuel the notion that it's not worth the time. Am I saying that those videos should go away or that no one can voice their disdain for Bleach? No, of course not. I just want to see more balance. Even in those
No, but if there would be balance if people thought it was good.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to see more balance on The Room?
Here's a question. Do you want to see more balance for Hunter x Hunter? Do you want to see more negative videos about Hunter x Hunter?
It's got to work both ways. Surely there must be things that are negative in Hunter x Hunter.
And is that what you want? Or are you going, well, this is a great series. I don't know why there would be a bunch of bad videos about it.
Well, this is a trash series, so why would there be a bunch of good videos about it?
Bleach videos, you'll find moments of praise for the series. But why can't those ideas amount to more than mere asides? Why?
Okay, and then moments of praise for Hunter x Hunter videos, you're gonna find some negatives. Why can't those be you gotta understand the same argument can be applied on the opposite end of it. If you think the series is good and you want more people to talk about its good thing, you do it. There's nothing stopping you. It's just like that person that was like, H Bomber guy, there's someone should make a counter video. It's like,
you do it.
You make it.
Don't be stamping your feet like somebody do this thing. You do it. It's different from, hey, I'm tired of walking. Somebody make a flying car. It's like you got nothing about that. But you clearly like the series.
You can't create a flying car. You do not have the mentality. You are not smart enough.
You know why the series is good. Can you talk? All right, then get to it. Otherwise, stop.
$25 on a microphone?
Oh, is it a problem that they can do a 2-3 hour video? And can you do a 2-3 hour video about how it's good? If you can't, maybe it's not as good as it is bad.
Made a video about why the 1,000-Year Blood War was their favorite arc, or why they liked Fullbring, or assuming that
maybe
these
because they didn't like it.
Because it wasn't their favorite arc.
Maybe because people just don't like things. I don't like Fishman Island like that.
No, I really don't like Fishman Island.
Hey, where's all the Fishman Island love?
Hey, you know what though? People are starting to go thumbs up on Fishman Island.
Of course they are.
Because of the themes.
Yeah, that's great. That is great.
Simply aren't interested in further Bleach discussion. Why don't the fans of Bleach try to craft their own projects? Maybe the YouTube algorithm is geared more towards negativity. Actually, it probably is. So...
Based on what?
Yeah.
Because Sniper Wolf is super positive in her reaction. It's like some of the most popular on the platform. Millions of views every video.
They don't gain as much traction? I don't know. But I can at least take some...
This is something, we talked about this before, but The downfall of One Piece has, I think it has like 100,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check. Downfall.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to look up The Brilliance of Golden Wind and see how many views that has.
136K. Mm-hmm. And then if you look up like the One Piece Odyssey whatever, I forget what it's called. I'm not gonna. Okay, yeah, A Modern Odyssey. It has 666K views. My goodness. So it has in 4 or 5 times the amount of views, and it came out sooner. And it is roughly the same length. So you can't just go negative is geared toward negative. Now, there's also the fact that there's probably more people that like One Piece and want to hear about the positive versus the people who confirmation bias. Oh, I'm not going to read One Piece because it does suck, and I'm going to watch this video, or people who actually think that it does suck. Asterisk.
The Brilliance of Golden Wind has 1.3 million views. There is not the Part 5 sucks video above like 60K.
Look at that. Now, of course, there will always be the outliers or the things that you can, just like I'm sure she could be like, oh, look at this versus look at this. Look at this Naruto video versus this Naruto video. And it's a couple of examples. And it makes their point. Absolutely. But if we can go back and forth, that means that it's not geared one way versus the other.
Or at least not an approvable or even we can draw this conclusion type of way.
Things hit, things don't hit.
Solace in the knowledge that change is coming. I've talked to some other creators who've got their own Bleach analysis in the works, and I'm not going anywhere, so I can always make more. As for the rest of you, I guess my call to action here would be, if you haven't touched some of these stories in a while, if your memory of the material is kinda hazy, maybe go back and reevaluate your stance on them. Worst case scenario, you reconfirm your hatred, but you might gain a better understanding of why you hated that particular series in the first place.
Hey, didn't you just earlier say you don't seek out things that you don't like? Why would you ask them to read a thing they don't like?
Just to reconfirm why you don't like it.
And then probably make a negative video about it just so they can have something to do with the time they spent rereading it.
Best case scenario, you connect details you hadn't before and form completely new conclusions.
Connect
positive or negative.
Details you didn't before. That's a theme. That's a theme, that is.
That's some thematic theming.
Or you can ignore me and do what you do. I'm a YouTuber, not an academic authority. Alright, I think that's enough soapbox Mathwiz for the year. I still have Naruto notes in the vault. There's a Hunter x Hunter project I hinted at back in August. Not the comparison series just yet. I'm waiting until we read the manga for the Nen show later this year for that. So 2020, maybe? By the time this drops, I'll have finished Whole Cake Island, so I can finally get cracking on some One Piece content. Plus, there's a goddamn baby steps analysis I promised way back in 2017 that I still need to make. Thanks as always to King Kevin 30, Stone Cold 0007, Roggle, Jackerknife, and all my other patrons for their continued support, and I'll see you next time. Just try to be civil in the comments. I don't need to spark a shonen fan war here.
It was like a 7.
I was thinking about an 8. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, made some good points, made some bad points. Let's get the out of here.
That's what it is. Engage with people in good faith and disregard the people that don't. Or try to engage with them and just further your... I laugh at the people that just stomp their feet like babies in our comments. That is...
Dude, it's the best!
So yeah, engage with them knowing what they are. Knowing that they're not going to respond in any sort of way. Knowing that they're going to pick and choose things that you say to address and then ignore whole things. That in DBZ Twitter thread, I still go back and laugh about that.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
Why are you knocking? You saw... What are we doing here? Banging each other? What do you think we're doing here?
The door was already partly open anyway. What are we doing?
Hey, just want to make sure y'all got some pants on in there.
Anyway, I was here to tell you that G Fuel's amazing.
What'd you get?
I got the Naruto one, the Sage Mode.
That's the best! I hate that that's amazing! It's the best! It tastes so good!
It tastes so good. And I was zooming through the day. I was not...
it's very, very good.
I was not tired. I crash at like, I don't know why.
Listen
but I
to
keep
these
crashing,
pieces of shit.
crashing like 4 o'clock. I'm like, my God, I am tired. But like today,
I told you.
I was zooming.
I told you.
I'm walking around like, no, I took it like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I was like,
It's good stuff.
I'm like, damn, this is amazing. That's crazy.
It's good stuff.
I
It's a
hate that.
quality product.
I hate that it's so effective. I'm usually like super sleepy around 4. I'm telling you, when if 4 o'clock hit, I'm like, damn, I gotta go home. I want to go to bed.
I told you.
But today,
I
like,
know what I'm
damn.
talking about.
Damn. Can we end the episode so I can go eat? I have not eaten today.
Let's talk about G Fuel.
I don't give a about G Fuel. I don't give a
No. It's the leading sports drink and we're gamers. Yeah.
Is it?
It's a very quality
It's
product.
actually
use
really
code
good.
ALX for. Don't try to use code ALX.
Dude, I would love a sponsorship from
it is very, very good. And it tastes good. It's good energy.
2 scoops. I was zooming.
It's like 30 calories all up.
Listen to
good
this
vitamins
ad.
and
Yo,
stuff.
can somebody throw us a
good.
sponsorship?
It's pretty
Actually
cheap.
good. Actually, really good. I won't even lie to you.
It's good.
I thought it would be terrible. I program for a living. I don't care.
I would have
don't
told
need
you
the
that the
injury.
Sage Bowl was banging. Isaac Tears is very good. It's white grape pineapple. Oh, it's so good.
I will go and do some like weird apple flavor. And I'm like,
they had blackberry apple for their bowl that just happened.
Can we end the episode so I can go eat? Y'all can go talk about the juice.
We woo could. Yeah.